Bob in Chicago. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Tom. I just got to say, there is something that's been driving me nuts because nobody, even the supposed lefties, has brought up the quote that Mitt Romney said last night. I'd like to read it to you.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the only person doing it is @MittRegularGuy, a parody account on Twitter. But he said, this was after Obama was talking, Mitt jumped in and said, I agree. Where you put your money is where your heart's at. Now, do you know where he keeps his money? It's not in the United States of America. So his heart, I mean, this is such an easy super PAC ad.
Are you looking at a transcript? Are you sure that he said that?
No.
Yeah, because
no,
I can't
remember
believe
him saying it. It was during a transition talking about the education.
Last night?
Obama was talking, yes, and Obama was talking about where he was putting his money. And Romney said, I agree. Where you put your money is where your heart's at. Now, perhaps it's wrong. Like I said, I got it from @MittRegularGuy, a parody account. But I would look into this because I remember seeing it myself.
Okay, Shano is scouring the transcript right now. We will. Shane?
It would be in a transition from right at the end of, it's right at the beginning of what Romney's saying after Obama was talking, and I believe it was about education.
Okay, hang on just a second, and we will play the clip for you, because Shane is...
this is why I got you. Another thing that nobody ever mentioned was that whole Libya statement he made. The whole thing got spun into, did he say it too soon? Was it too soon? And he's saying, oh, it was just about Egypt. But in the actual quote, it mentions the death in Benghazi. So he's obviously talking about that death in Libya, and nobody calls him on it.
Right. Well, last night was supposed to be about domestic policy, and it turned into everything about Mitt Romney's tax plans and Medicare and Obamacare and not much else. And I know there's a lot of groups from women to gay Americans to a variety of minorities, immigrants, African Americans, who are going, huh? This was domestic policy? And I think you can drop a lot of that in Jim Lair's lap. But
and I would say one other thing, that the quote you brought up about the boys earlier, I took that as meaning his boys were liars, and we shouldn't
trust Mitt Romney's kids. But see, I don't think that a 65-year-old man refers to his 5 sons, the youngest of whom is 34 years old, as my boys. He refers to them as my sons, and particularly when you're focus grouping and carefully honing the zinger, the attack line that you're going to use to accuse the first African American president of the United States of being a liar. You would in fact, this when I first heard it, I thought, I didn't hear that. He must have said sons. I didn't actually hear that. But he is a Mr. Rogers type that talk. I'm not criticizing Mormons, but it's sort of so wholesome and stuff that maybe he talks like that. But I agree with you, because they did focus group everything for 2 months on this, so I bet you there wasn't a word misplaced. Oh yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the call, Bob. The boy was intentional. It was absolutely intentional. Bill in Santa Monica. Hey, Bill, what's up?
This is Bill in Santa Maria.
Santa Maria. My apologies.
Tom, I thought that speech last night that Romney gave, his response to the $5 trillion tax cut, and don't worry about your Social Security, don't worry about your pension. He's given that speech hundreds of times. He's given it to takeover companies. He's told these people, I won't hurt your pension. I'm just coming in here to make this company better. That was Romney's speech, his takeover speech. Romney is Gordon Gekko, and that's what President Obama should tag him with. Romney is Gordon Gekko.
Yeah, well, and this is the fulfillment of, and Bill, thank you very much for the call. Here is how a previous president responded, and this was the election of 1944. This is how a previous president responded to Republican lies. Here's Franklin Roosevelt.
Let me warn you, and let me warn the nation against the smooth evasion that says, of course we believe these things. We believe in Social Security. We believe in work for the unemployed. We believe in saving homes. Cross our hearts and hope to die. We believe in all these things. But we do not like the way the present administration is doing them, just turn them over to us. We will do all of them. We will do more of them. We will do them better. And most important of all, the doing of them will not cost anybody anything.
There you go. I mean, it's just we've anyhow. RJ in Windover, Nevada. Hey, RJ, what's up?
Yes, sir. That line came out, Tom, and as soon as I heard it,
wait a second. What line are you talking about?
Oh, my boys.
Oh, boys. Yes.
I knew absolutely he was doing that. I mean, anyone with any sensitivity in race relations would not even use that conversation, let alone in a debate with the president, who's the first African-American president.
Right.
When that came out, I said, he's calling the president that name.
Yeah, he's calling the president a boy. So you don't think I'm paranoid or crazy?
Absolutely
or
not.
delusional.
I was watching the debate in a Burger King, and I heard that, and I go, whoa. And I'll tell you what, if I tried to listen to the black radio stations, those people would pick it up right away because they know when someone is dissing them.
Yeah.
And that was a diss, and it may not be caught by most of the people in this country. It wasn't caught by that Lair guy who was asleep.
Yeah.
I mean, he was abominable moderating that debate.
Well, he didn't moderate it. He just kind of hung around it.
I'll agree with the criticisms that the president was listless. And I'll tell you one thing, I was really feeling bad for the president. He looks like a guy who's just I've been fighting every inch for 4 years.
Yeah, well, Bob Woodward made the comment, and he said, I don't have this morning on television. I didn't see it. Louise told me about it, so this is a secondhand paraphrase. But Bob Woodward, the reporter, said he didn't have any evidence or anything to back this up, but his personal opinion was that Obama's mind was someplace else, that there's some sort of crisis going on somewhere in the world that the President of the United States is having to deal with that was distracting him, that he was distracted, that he was worried about. And
one quick thing, and I don't know if you noticed this, I don't know if Obama's had this, he's got a tick in his right cheek. It's really sad. I mean, I was going, is it...
Where he looked like he was smiling. I think he was actually grimacing. I think every time Romney told a lie, Obama would kind of clench his teeth and make what looked like a smile and write something down, and it looked like he was looking down and smiling when, in fact, he was doing neither. He was writing something down. He was making a note to himself. And and Mitt Romney was playing the "I'm going to stare you down" game. I am the alpha dog here. I'm the guy with the testosterone. And Mitt Romney never took his eyes off Obama. Just constantly, bore holes in him. And you get those camera shots. You can see it better on C-SPAN than on the network feeds. Over the shoulder shot of Romney over the shoulder of Obama. And Obama, when Obama was speaking, Romney would just be staring at him, and Obama would just occasionally look up at him. I mean, the stare was just so intense. It was very much the I'm in the corporate boardroom. I'm the CEO. You're the boy here, and okay. RJ, thank you very much. Lisa in Overland, Ohio. Your thoughts on Romney's use of the word boy?
Oh, well, first of all, I, too, bristled when I heard it. I'm not sure it was planned. I think his personality is, just as you said, he's the boss, and he's going to make sure everyone knows it, and it was so condescending to use that word. The look on his face, the smile that came to his lips when he said, "my boys," it to me was just part of his personality, which has nothing to do with what either one of them were talking about.
But he had announced a week and a half ago that the biggest challenge he was going to have in the debate is that the president doesn't always tell the truth. And
but why can't the president sue him for slander?
Because you can't sue public figures for slander or defamation.
An oral statement of false maliciousness or defamatory nature tending to damage another's reputation.
Doesn't count against public figures.
Well, that's ridiculous. And Mr. Lear did a horrible job. It was like watching two preschoolers. One is the bully.
Yeah.
One's got the toy.
Yeah.
The other one's just trying to have someone maybe stand up for them because they know where it's going to go if they start fighting.
Well,
and he did nothing
Yeah, I think early on, certainly President Obama was waiting for Jim Lehrer to jump in. Thank you for the call, Lisa. And it didn't happen, or to follow up, or to say, Mr. Romney, you just said that what the president said is not true. That you want to cut $5 trillion in taxes. How much do you want to cut? And the president didn't interrupt him to say, how much did you want to cut? We've been through that.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Visit ThomHartmann.com for audio and video archives.
So we're processing the debate of last night and trying to come to a better understanding of what happened and where it's going.